Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team bringing you a race today from South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia. We're going to have 14 very fast Advanced Legend Series iRacing cars competing for 40 laps on a 0.4-mile asphalt oval. Let's run through the starting grid. In car number 3, starting in 14th position, is Michael Clark. Starting in 13th position is the 6 car, Pennzoil-sponsored Legends car of Andrew Deeger. Starting in 12th position in car number 4, that's Chris Polhemus. In the 11th spot is car number 11, Don Corbin. In car number 10, starting 10th, that's Tim Sanford. Colton Hess will be starting in the 9th spot. We're in the blue and yellow Legends car. In the 8th spot, car number 5, sponsored by the U.S. Army with the MASH 407 7th paint scheme, that's car number 5, Samuel Mabry. In the 7th position, car number 1, Tyler Dengler. Starting 6th, that's Chris Tarango in car 13. Just to his inside in the 5th position, the 14 car of Chris Carter. In your top 4 now. Starting in 4th position, that's car number 9, Drew Collins. In 3rd, it's car number 7, Lorelei Davis. On the front row outside will be the wild man himself, Rodney Wild. And on the pole, car number 51, that's Aaron Johnson. Let's go ahead and get the action started here. You'll see the cars coming out of turn number 4 now onto the front straightaway. The pace car's in, the green flag's out. Johnson takes the lead as he heads down the front straightaway in car 51, followed by Lorelei Davis in car 7. And in car number 14, Chris Carter has moved up to 3rd. Davis now looks to the inside of Johnson. Puts 2 wheels down onto the apron, gets underneath Johnson. Johnson moves up a little bit. Davis now going to go by on the low side. It's going to be Lorelei Davis taking the lead from the 51 car of Aaron Johnson, the Alienware Legends car, moving back into 2nd now. 3rd place, car number 14, Christopher Carter. We're going to zoom in on Davis. Davis spins all by herself. Spins to the inside, hits the inside wall. That puts Johnson in the lead now. Johnson takes the lead with Chris Carter 2nd, followed by Tyler Dengler number 1, Samuel Mabry in the U.S. Army number 5, and Colton Hess now. Car number 12, we're in lap 3 of 40. Aaron Johnson now with a half-second lead over the 14 car of Chris Carter. Here we are in lap number 4. We have a lot going on here. It's fairly quiet. The 6 car spun front straightaway. Johnson now with the lead. Heads down into turn number 2. Out of 2 now. Going down the back straightaway. Johnson crosses, the front straightaway. Heads into turn number 1 now. Out of turn number 1 into turn number 2. Going down the back straightaway. We're on lap number 5. Johnson moving on the lap car of Chris Polhemus. And he goes underneath Polhemus to put Polhemus a lap down here now on lap number 5. Johnson now down the front straightaway. Closing in on the lapped car. That's the 9 car of Drew Collins. He goes around Collins. Johnson maintains his lead over Christopher Carter. Tyler Dengler 3rd. Samuel Mabry 4th. Colton Hess now in car in 5th position. We're lap number 7 now. This is a quick race. Laps here run about 16 seconds each. Johnson down the front straightaway. Comes into turn number 3. Comes out of 3 now into turn number 4 on the front straightaway here. Crosses the front straightaway. Johnson still in the lead with Chris Carter 2nd, Tyler Dengler 3rd, and Samuel Mabry 4th. Johnson now passing the 5th place car of Colton Hess, putting Hess a lap down. Johnson, in just 8 laps, has lapped all but the top 4 cars. Only 4 cars now remaining. That's Johnson, Carter, Mabry, and Tyler Dengler.
Thank you, 3.
Already to lap number 9. Johnson now with a 3-second lead, a 2-second lead, over Chris Carter. Samuel Mabry 7 seconds back in 3rd position. Tyler Dengler in 4th. Lorelei Davis in 5th. She's moved into the pits. Don Corbin 6th. Rodney Wild in 7th. So 7 cars on the lead lap. Lorelei Davis in the pits. She will drop down into 6 cars on the lead lap. Johnson closing in, or should be closing in, on the 8 car of Rodney Wild. That's Rodney right in front of Johnson here. Johnson coming up to put Wild a lap down. Johnson closing out on the front straightaway, comes into turn number 1, and out of turn number 1 into turn number 2. Closing in on the 8 car down the back straightaway now. Johnson with about with about 4 or 5 cars behind the 8 car of Tyler Dingler. Sorry, the 8 car of Rodney Wild. Closing in here with 13 laps in of 40 to go. Johnson now with almost a 2-second lead over Chris Carter in second. Samuel Mabry in the United States Army car in third. Tyler Dingler now running fourth. Johnson closes a bit more on the 8 car. Lap traffic now coming into play. Johnson a car length behind the lap car of Tyler Dingler. It'll be interesting to see if Dingler gives Johnson any room here as he runs up on the lap car. Car number 8, the tail end of the lead lap. Johnson now looking to the outside. Dingler keeps the car down low. Johnson on the inside. He turns underneath now. Johnson looking under Dingler as they come out of the corner here. In turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Johnson to the inside. And he passes the lap car of Rodney Wild, the Wild man himself. Johnson slips up in front of the 6 car of Andrew Deeger. Now Johnson with an 8-second lead. No, sorry, a 2-second lead over Christopher Carter. Johnson in first now, Carter second, Samuel Mabry third, Tyler Dingler fourth, and Don Corbin rounding out the top 5. Let's work our way back through traffic here, see if we can't ride along a little bit with some of the other drivers on the racetrack. Let's move back to the 14 car of Chris Carter. Chris Carter now comes out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3. Running a strong second place here, out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. That's the 14 car of Chris Carter. Third position, the 5 car of Samuel Mabry. Mabry just about a second behind Carter. Doesn't seem to be closing, doesn't seem to be moving further out. That's the 407 7th MASH unit, U.S. Army sponsored car, driven by Samuel Mabry. Fourth position, car number 1, Tyler Dingler. Dingler with some damage on the left front, as you can see here. Don't know what that came from. There's a lot of beating and banging. That's the United States Postal Service car being driven by Tyler Dingler. Moving back now into the 5th position. That's the 11 car, Don Corbin. Corbin 12.8 seconds back of our leader, Johnson, in 6th position. 6th position, that's the 8th car of Rodney Wild. He's 1 lap down. In 7th, the 12 car of Colton Hess. In 8th, that's car number 3 of Michael Clark. 9th is the 7th car of Lorelei Davis. And rounding out the top 10 is the 6th car, that Pennzoil machine of Andrew Deeger. Let's hop back into the leader, Johnson, now, who shows on the leaderboard as car number 2, but drives under the 51 banner, the Alienware sponsored 34 Ford Legends Coupe. Johnson now taking a smooth line out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway now into turn number 1. Goes through the center of the corner, back out of turn number 2. Johnson all by himself, a 3-second lead now over Chris Carter. Samuel Mabry running about a half a second behind Carter. Looks like Mabry may be closing the gap on Carter just a little bit. Johnson should be closing in on the 11 car of Don Corbin. We should see Corbin coming into view just about any time here, as Johnson now holds almost a 14-second advantage over Corbin. We can just see the 11 car of Corbin trying to come into the frame here. We might actually see it as we come out of the corner. There's Corbin in the white and black number 11. Johnson closing in ever so slightly. 16 laps to go now. Johnson in first, Chris Carter second, Samuel Mabry third. Mabry now has closed. Let's go back here and see if there's a little action between Carter and Mabry. There sure is. Carter trying to hold off the 5 car of Samuel Mabry. Mabry closes in on the back bumper now, looks underneath Carter as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The 5 car of Mabry has position. He's underneath the 14, makes the pass. The 14 now turning back under, trying to do that crossover move. Doesn't quite have enough race car to get it done, and now Samuel Mabry is going to move into second position, 3.8 second back of the leader. Johnson now closing in on Don Corbin. Corbin, the last car in the lead lap. He's in 5th position. Johnson looks to put the 11 car a lap down, closing in ever so slightly. It's kind of a Sunday drive here for Johnson as he moves through turn number 4 and onto the front straightaway. Johnson now right on the back bumper, the 11 car. Corbin giving Johnson plenty of room. Johnson goes by on the inside. That makes only 4 cars on the lead lap. Aaron Johnson, Samuel Mabry, Chris Carter, and Tyler Dingler. Dingler in the 1 USPS car just in front of Johnson here. That was the 7 car. That's the 7 car of Lorelei Davis around into the inside wall right in front of the leaders. Johnson now comes out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3, closing in on the one car, the USPS car there of Tyler Dingler. Johnson now a car length and a half as they go past the stripe here. 10 laps to go. Johnson closing in on the one car. Dingler gives him plenty of room. Now only 3 cars on the lead lap. Aaron Johnson in first, Samuel Mabry in second, Chris Carter in third. Chris Carter's car has really begun to fall off here late in the running as he's 5 seconds back of Johnson and over a second back of the second place car of Samuel Mabry. 9 laps to go now. Johnson down the back straightaway into turn number 3, rolls the car into the corner, through the apex of the corner, out of turn number 4 now onto the front straightaway. There are 8 laps to go this time by. Aaron Johnson with a 5-second lead over Samuel Mabry. Chris Carter in second. Tyler Dingler, Don Corbin round out the top 5. Lorelei Davis, Drew Collins, Chris Tarango, Chris Polhamus, and Tim Sanford are all out of the race. So only 9 cars remain on the track now. 8 laps to go, now 7 to go. Johnson into turn 1 and now out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Johnson with a 4-second lead over Samuel Mabry, stretching that lead out as we get here late in the race. It's Johnson, Mabry, and Chris Carter. Let's see if we can't go right along with Johnson. That's the cockpit view to see what Johnson sees from behind. Three laps to go now. Johnson just brushes the wall coming out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Now coming out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Johnson past the stripe, 2 to go this time by. Johnson rolls the car into turn number 1 to across the apex and out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Right up against the wall as he's stretched out now to a 6-second lead over the second place car of Samuel Mabry. Chris Carter now 8.5 seconds back. We're at the white flag here. 1 to go for Johnson as he rolls the car down into turn number 1. This is the final lap. Johnson out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Not quite so high this time. Johnson turns into turn number 3 through the apex across turn number 4, and that'll be the race as Aaron Johnson takes the win. The 5 car of Samuel Mabry is going to finish second, followed by the 14 car of Christopher Carter, who will finish in third position. Don Corbin in the 11 finishes 4th. Tyler Dingler in the USPS car finishes 5th. With Wildman himself, Rodney Wild in 6th. Colton Hess in 7th. Michael Clark in 8th. Andrew Deeger in the Pennzoil car in 9th. And Lorelei Davis will round out the top 10. Johnson going to celebrate here, it looks like. He's eased the car up against the wall. We're going to see if he can do a burnout. And it looks like Johnson's going to have a good time here. Abuse those tires a little bit and celebrate a victory. I have to tell you, Johnson I'd had, now I can speak in first person here, I'd had about 20 races where I'd finished 10th or worse, 20 races in a row. So it was really good feeling to finally win one here and do just a little celebrating. Bounce the car off the wall. It's a virtual car. All you got to do is press a button and the repairs are done. With that, this is Aaron Johnson for the Johnson iRacing team saying go fast, turn left, have fun.